Hey guys, Gilly here from Team Moonax. I ended up getting first place this Sunday at my local OTS championship playing Scareclaw Bystial. I think this deck's super insane, super fun. Really happy I won. This is one of my favorite mats here, and I love it. It's its champion on its fire. Ninjas are like one of my favorite archetypes. I actually have like the deck basically put together. We'll reach over and grab that. I'm missing like 2 cards for it, but I really want to play this at local. This is super cool. Like, look at this shit. Oh, let's go, crispy. So yeah, I super glad I won this. I played Circle Bystial. I played against 3 Shizu and 1 Flunder. It was 4 rounds, only like a couple. It wasn't like super big. It was only like 9 people, 10 people. So not like huge, but honestly, I'm happy. I won regardless, and it was honestly a pretty relatively, I guess, relatively hard tournament. No like really big name players there, like any really like crazy good players there, but a lot of annoying decks to play. Shizu is absolutely obnoxious to face, especially when they all side time cards and they play like really slow. So yeah, nothing you can do there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. So let's get into the deck. First off, of course, 3 Scareclaw right card. This is like your staple. This is like the best card in the deck. Essentially, this is what makes the deck work. Yeah, just searching any spell or trap is insane. Being an extender is insane. Being able to be searched as a warrior is super good. There's so much love for this card. My favorite card in the deck. I love every hand I open it. Triple Scareclaw Acro. This is just like the best. The best of level 3s just because it has the highest defense, meaning like it's relevant because like you can attack in defense position with this deck sometimes. Along with that, it all like 300 attack boost is relevant. It's not like super important, but it is relevant and it does come up. From there, 2 Stairclaw Balloons, 2 Stairclaw Astros, 2 Vista Starcross. This is kind of like where I think the engine should be. With Combined with your 2 Field Spell and your Rhoda, you basically have 11 starters for this deck. Super good. And then this is just like your extender, but also like can make plays with Starfrost there. So yeah, I think this is just like the ratio I like. If you want to play like Astra instead, that's fine. I just don't like that Astra's defense is so low because it makes your Twin Saw worse. Because you want to make sure your like monster just can't get swung over. From there, Bystial package. Bystials are insane in this deck. Branded Regain is like one of the like most absurd cards ever printed. Um, it doesn't seem like it, but like when that card starts resolving, you just like win the game because you just sit so far ahead so fast. But yeah, so 3 Magnumit, 3 Serener, 3 Juice Room. You almost feel like you just have to play this format. These are just like so broken. Hand traps that are also bodies is insane, especially when their effects are all actually like relevant. Even Serener in this build specifically has a good effect. And then we played the 2 Lubellion. I was borrowing one. We instead had the Altar Proxy. Insane. Look at this bad boy. Broken card. Um, yeah, this card's absurd. Just the fact that this card, if you open like Lubellion plus like a Stairclaw, you probably just win that game unless they have like multiple hand traps because you're going to end on like an Omni Negate plus like Branded Beasted plus Regain. And if you have another like Bystial in hand from there, it's just lights out. That's it. Clap them up. This deck's so good at just like building resources and just like grinding people down because like the Branded Regained is gonna bring back like Jerusalem every turn or bring back Magma for follow up like every single turn. So you're just gonna get so far ahead so fast. It's unreal. After that, I played smaller hand traps too. Obviously, we're playing a 1 card combo deck. We can play a million hand traps. I played 3 Valor, 3 Ash, and 2 Bell, giving me a total of 17 hand traps in the deck. Broken. So yeah, this is insane. From there, 2 Primitive Planet Primitive Planet Right Phobia. This is the better one. This card's so good. You only play 2 because you don't want to see multiples, or you don't want to see more than one ever, and you definitely want you want to open them less, but you to search it with your link once. You have to play it anyway. You have to play like more than one because you can do search both on turn 1. It's insane how like plus it is. 1 Branded Regain, and again this card's broken. Whenever a Letter Dark monster is banished, draw a card by putting it back, so it gives you like recovery. Along with that, you can also use it to special summon a Bystial when your opponent summons a monster. So basically, like every turn in this format, you're summoning a Bystial for free from your grave. Absolutely nutty. Our other spell cards, engine spell cards, 1 Stairclaw Rival and 1 Stairclaw Straddle. Insane cards. Yeah, I wasn't playing Straddle before, but like it comes up so much to like help you push for game, or it comes up in like scenarios to like protect you. Like with Jerusalem being legal now, you kind of have to play this, because otherwise, like your link 3 is just gonna get outed by Jerusalem alone, which is incredibly obnoxious. 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Rhoda, good generics, another copy of Right Card, the best card in your deck. Definitely play it. And then our trap cards. The new one, Stairclaw Twin Saw. This card is absurd. In any format that wasn't the one we're in right now, this would be like one of the best cards in the game. It's a Floodgate and a Blackout, or a Floodgate and Icarus attack. Basically, you target 2 cards in your opponent's side of the field, destroy them, and then you can banish this card from your graveyard. If a Link 3 or higher monster is on the board, you can banish this card to Your the effective link monsters not be activated for the rest of the turn. Absolutely bonkers effect. Like I said, if we weren't in a format where fusions were the best cards and they all floated from destruction, this would be broken. As soon as Tyr's banned, this deck is like insane just off of this card alone. Scareclaw Slash. This is just your Omni Negate. Obviously, like the battle effects are like semi-relevant, but yeah, your season says Omni Negate. Finally, Branded Beast. Target tribute one level 6 hard card target will control Bystial and then destroy one target field. Also places Branded Regain from the spell and traps on face up. Basically, like if you establish this, you're so far like establish this with Regain and Graveyard. They have to kill Regained and this on the same turn. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep recycling Regained. And if Regain like sticks for like 2 turns, you win the game. It's just that simple. From there, we'll go to the extra deck. Triple Scareclaw Right Heart or Light Heart. Oh yeah, this card's broken. Best boy, so good. My god. Link one that searches, special summons itself back, and isn't once per turn. Absolutely. The only two good Link 2s right now that I can play in this deck, Asa and Dark. We're really down bad right now for Link 2s in general. Like the Link 2 pool is just terrible. They banned all the good ones. So if you're not playing Dragons and you have like Heretic Seal and you're not playing a Link 2 spam or a level 2 spam deck, like you really don't have good Link 2 options. So yeah, these are all we can really afford. These are all the ones that are worth playing. I like kind of like Mask never came up for me really, so I stopped playing it. And everything else just wasn't worth it. I think like XYZs and Synchros are just infusions are just better right now. So if you play those instead. The one Unicorn, just utility. Yeah. Oh well, it's Unicorn. It's just a generic card to help remove stuff that's problematic. Double Scareclaw Twinsaw, or sorry, Scareclaw Tryhard. This card's insane. Versus tier, as soon as you remove their Pluralino, they have no way to out this. So if you just play the game or you summon this, you pop the Pluralino or the Soliac. Their actual like engine doesn't beat this card. So yeah, super broken, super free. I think like Sprint plus an XYZ like kind of does it, but at the same time like it's really hard for them to get there, and then like you just not like Twinsaw them or negate them. One Appaloosa, one access code. Yeah, when they're relevant, they're really relevant, so you have to play them. But I don't make them like that often. Usually like once or twice a tournament maybe for each of them. One Cicada King. I wish this was the VW rank 3. That's an 88 because that card's insane versus tier. But this is still fine. This just negates a monster effect on board. It's not great, not terrible. It is what it is. One Dredge. This card's insane. Wallow is absolutely absurd. This comes up a lot. This is Starfrost lets you make this super easy too. I've probably like summoned this like 3 or 4 times. And Zeus. Never summon this card. It seems in theory really good, but it just doesn't come up very often. The problem with Zeus in this deck, to where I think I'm gonna cut it, is that if you're like Zeusing them, you're losing your Scareclaw, and you need a Scareclaw on board to play half the time. So you have to Zeus them with like Wallow, and Zeus them, and like it's just kind of mid. I mean, like in theory it's good, but I just haven't done it yet. Like in any of the tournaments I played it, I haven't played it, and I probably played like 30 tournament matches, and I just don't make it. I've cut it here and there, but yeah, it just seems like it's good in theory, and then it never is. One Baron, one Channing. Cards are insane. Channing's absurd right now. With the Medoras and everything your opponent's playing, they're gonna be like triggering this themselves, so like you don't even have to Bystial trigger it half the time. There's like combos where you can end on both these turn one, and that's just like clean claps against tier. Super good. So let's see extra deck. Pretty simple. 2 Synchros. XYZs. Flames. For the side deck, triple Dark Ruler. I'm like not super sold on Dark Ruler. I think it is a good card, but I think in like the matchups right Dark Ruler, I'm just fine. I'm like just as fine just like playing like Redeki instead. The tier boards aren't like that oppressive against my deck because I don't really care if I don't have monster effects. Like what does it matter when I'm just making like my Tryhard? So yeah, I don't think you need it. I was playing it evenly originally, but you can't play it with the Bystials because you have like 9 cards that summon on your opponent's turn and put a monster on board. It just kind of sucks. Also played Dark Hole. Dark Hole, in my opinion, is like a little bit mid, which might sound weird. I think Redeki is just better. Like I said, I'm summoning on my opponent's turn. I'm not like I can play around Ibli relatively well. They have to first card Gigantic, and then after they first card Gigantic, I have to have no hand traps to stop Gigantic, and then they have to go for an Ibli route from there. It's just like not really like that real to play Dark Hole, but I wanted it just in case I did run into a Sprite, because I wasn't sure my matchups. It's also like good into Plunder, but I think Redeki does like the same thing in that matchup. Our Spell and Trap hate, Duster, Cyclone. I kind of had this like theory in my head where like I looked at like these 7 cards are just like generic second cards that are good into like everything, or like relatively good into everything. Like I can't like there's not a deck at this point where I can't Dark Hole them. Even against like mind decks, this card's good. That was kind of like the other theory behind it. But there's no other deck in the format where like Dark Pool's like terrible, and like against tier, it's not amazing, but it does force like their board state a little bit. And then I looked at like I wanted to like play a big like wide spread of cards. So I didn't know my matchups to be. I didn't know if everyone would be playing Shizu tier or not. So my logic was then instead of like playing like specific hate, like target hate towards the Shizu, I wanted like utility cards. So I wanted cards that were both good against the Shizu tier and like good against everything else. So I looked at like draw. I'm like, this card's okay. It's not like great against the Shizu tier specifically, but it has a lot of matchups where it's like really solid. Like versus an Atreya deck, like draw is really good because you can like if they go for a Vernisil effect, they're almost always adding. Or if they go for like Medora to start their turn, or sorry, not Medora, Keldo to start their turn, you can just draw them, and now like their deck is really really weak because they can't use the tree or anything. They also can't trigger the tree multiple times. And yeah, I think that like it's really good going second. I just wanted a generic hand trap because I didn't know my matchups. And then if there's like any of the Jetta FTK decks, 2 different dimension round, 2D barrier. I don't think this is like crazy. These cards are just really really strong in the tier. I have played like 3 of 1, but then like I use the utility of like D barrier is really good against Exo Sister, or like D barrier is really good against Despia, whereas like different dimension rounds like mid into both those decks. Like, terrible in Exo Sister, like really average into Despia, but like D barrier is really good in those matchups. So I kind of like spread out my aesthetic lineup. I looked at like Cyclone as like utility, like I'll bring this in versus tier because it hits the Soliac, just stuff like that. So yeah, that was the deck. 70 cards. I dropped 1 game because I scooped to someone. Because we were like semi close to time. There's only like 12 minutes on the clock, and he was on his like turn 1 in game 2. Still, after like a 10-minute turn without having resolved all his tier effects yet. So I just scooped that up, and then I just beat him. Yeah, deck felt really good. I think like this deck holds up really well into the best of the format, which is tier. I don't think like you have a terrible matchup. I think like the Bystials themselves are really good. You dodge a lot of their like powerful interactions. Like Rupalos doesn't really hit this deck other than like um obviously like your Scareclaw rival, but a lot of the times Tryhard's like really strong to the matchup itself, so like you really put them on like you have to deal with Tryhard or you lose. And this deck doesn't like care about its graveyard that much, so yeah, pretty solid. Definitely insane deck. Would recommend it if you want something that's like semi budget for this format. Like your actual engine's pretty cheap, but obviously you have to play the Bystials and you have to play the Baron. But yeah, overall really solid deck. Gets better next set. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe to Team Moonax and subscribe to my channel Daily TCG. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.